this week, but the countdown to the NASCAR season opener at Elko Speedway has begun. It is only a matter of days until the roar of engines is heard at the Midwest Center for Speed. What's new for 1997? Sit tight, we'll tell you next on the Valvoline Elko Race Report.
We're back! The bonfires are being rekindled as Old Man Winter has left the state of Minnesota, and that means racing season. Hello again, race fans. Wally Shaver and Ted Austad with you. It's been a long, drawn-out winter. I'm sick and tired of it. My Mexican vacation is over. It's time to get down to some major league horsepower.
You did get an early jump on the tanning season, didn't you?
I needed it. I needed it.
Well, we've got a lot in store in today's show. We're going to preview what's going on at Elko Speedway for 1997 and just getting out, seeing a couple of the guys, looking at the cars progressing in the shops, talking with Bob Fredrickson. I'm quite excited about the season, fast approaching.
And Bob's very excited too because we have 2 nights of racing this season. We'll get into that in some more details. Don't go too far, race fans, because we got an awful lot to go over here in today's show.
Take a ride on the wild side.
Before we get into the 1997 season, let's take a quick look back at 1996. A lot of highlights in all 4 divisions. 1996 in the NASCAR late model division had a similar look to the 1995 racing season. A battle between Mike Tuma and Jeff Martin for class supremacy. You may recall that in 1995's points race, it came down to the final weekend of racing before Martin clinched the track championship. Tuma was determined to reverse his fortunes last year and was virtually unstoppable in the early going of the season. In the first 11 races of the campaign, Mighty Mike claimed the checkers 6 times, including a streak of 5 straight during the month of June. However, Jeff Martin was just as ambitious in his quest for a 2nd straight title. His consistent competitive spirit was obvious in the fact Jeff finished in the top 5 every night with only 1 exception. Martin successfully went on to earn his 8th track title in the late model division. After a so-so start in 1996, Brian Johnson came on like gangbusters at the tail end of the season. Wrecking his car early on put a strain on the repair bill. He hopped aboard the MGM Liquor Warehouse car at that point, and once he dialed in the adjustments to fit his driving style, Johnson was as tough of an opponent as anyone. Brian scored 4 straight wins in early August, but didn't have enough time to catch the leaders. Jason Snyder also made a nice move up with the standings as well in 1996, earning 1 win and 6 top 5 finishes. Now with several years' experience under his belt, Jason will be a solid contender coming this summer. The Sportsman division will be up for grabs in 1997. Steve Anderson and Rob Host finished 1-2 in points in 96. Both are taking the coming season off from racing. 2 other top 10 finishers, Jeff Partington and Donnie Brett, are moving up to the late model division. Several returning veterans are coming off strong endings to last season. Bert Bover had 6 top 5 finishes in his last 8 races. Donnie Reavers is back for his 3rd season in the Sportsman and will try to improve on his 3rd place finish. Bullet Bob Barfnick resumed his racing career last season with a midlife crisis that saw him gain 4 top 5 finishes to earn 5th place in the standings. Several newcomers for 1997 will make for an exciting start in the Sportsman division for this year. Huge numbers in the Thunder Car division created a constantly changing standings board in 96. 64 different drivers raced in the Thunder Car division last season, 50 of them on a regular basis. Kurt Mosier, the division champ, won only 1 race and finished in the top 5 on 5 occasions. 4 of those came in the final 6 weeks of the season to secure his top rank. The entry-level bomber division was even busier in 1996. 85 drivers took part in the Saturday night action. Dave "Frantic" Fronick won only 1 race all season, the first one. And that is where he finished at the season's end. He will move up to the Thunder Cars this year. A weekly check of the standings board was automatic for these drivers due to the constant points changes. Andy Jurek was the only bomber driver to win more than one feature. He collected 4 wins en route to a 16th place overall finish. Well, Jeff Martin has been racing at Elko Speedway since 1979, and Wally Shaver had a chance to go to his race shop this week and find out what's in store for 1997.
Well, Jeff, you've been around the short track of Elko Speedway for quite a few years. You've won numerous track championships, and right now you've got 2 in a row under your belt in the late model division. Now, what do you look forward to here in 97?
Well, I'd sure like to win another championship. It's all dependent on a little luck and having a good fast car, which we have, and hopefully those other guys won't get too much faster because they give me a lot of headaches out there. And I'd sure like to win a few more races and win that championship again.
Isn't that trophy case getting a little full?
Well, there's always room for more, you know. We can move some of the dusty ones out of there and put a new one in.
During the winter months here of 96, 97, what have you been doing to get the old workhorse going for you?
Mostly we've been working on motors. Last year we only had 1 motor and we had some trouble with it, and there's a few late nights getting it going, and so this year we planned a little better. We used some of the race winnings we got last year and got 2 new motors. They're just about complete now. We're going to be going and testing them out at the end of the week here, and hopefully our motor program will be a little better. Maybe we'll pick up a little bit of horsepower with them and be really well prepared in that area. And the car itself, we're just mostly just checking it over and making sure everything's good, and hopefully we'll start off where we left off last year.
You know what's impressed me about your driving style is you're always extremely consistent. You finish almost every race in the top 5. How do you do that? What are you trying to do during the course of a race itself?
Well, usually I start out, I kind of got to calm myself down because I don't want to get into a situation where I'm going to get into an accident because first I have to finish before I can win. And sometimes there's a spot I could go into that possibly gain me a lot of positions, but if it's going to wreck me, it's not worth it. I got to kind of calm myself down, stay out of trouble. I don't win quite as many races that way, but I'll be there at the end, and that's what I hope to do again this year.
Well, consistency sure will not be a problem with Jeff Martin. He's got that hammered right down. Now he's just looking for a few more wins, and I'm sure we'll see him in victory lane in 1997. Ted?
Sounds like Mr. Martin is ready for the challenge of three-peating in the NASCAR late models. We'll have to see how he does. Let's look at the 1996 point standings. There you see Martin topping the class. Mike Tuma came home second for the 2nd consecutive year. Brian Johnson came on strong at the end of last season and finished 3rd. Jason Schneider improved his consistency in 1996, finishing 6th in the points. Paul Payne was 9th and looks to be coming back this year after a couple of tries on the ASA circuit. The Sportsmen look to be losing a few good competitors. Steve Anderson and Rob Host will more than likely take a year off. That may leave the door open for Don Reavers, who finished 3rd last year. Jeff Partington will also take a shot at the late model rookie crown, moving up a division. While Bill Rohde continues to improve each year, Paul Neisches, last year's Rookie of the Year, lost his ride, and Don Bryant will move up a class to the NASCAR late models as he purchased the old Craig Peterson machine. A lot of new faces coming into the Sportsman, and we will touch on that during next week's show. Kurt Mosier and Conrad Jorgensen will battle it out again this year in the Thunder Cars. Mike Hellendrung, Dwayne Helverson, numerous others will chase down the Tires Plus Thunder Car crown. And of course the Bombers, Dave Fronick, he's not eligible this season after winning the title last year. Grant Wasgott, he held the top position in the points for the majority of 1996. We'll have to see how he does. Mike Scooby Chatterton, he was solid in 4th. Derry Peterson, Tony Holm, and Roger Meyer all will return. Next week, we'll preview each class with a look at the rookie contenders, returning veterans, and our season predictions. Wally and I will cover the Test and Tune session at the track this Saturday as we ready for the opener. That's next week on the Race Report. Stick around because we've got a lot more to come as we preview 1997 at Elko Speedway.
The season opener is only a week away at Elko Speedway, your Midwest Center for Speed, and promoter Bob Fredrickson is extremely pleased with his customary Saturday night program.
In our late model division, we've got 6 rookies signed up right now. The sportsman division has really exploded we've got 42 cars registered right now, and there's about 14 rookies, I think. And they've always put on a good show, and it's even going to get better this year. We've got a whole ton of Thunder cars and Bombers signed up, so the Saturday night program looks like it's really ready to go, and with a lot of new blood in some of the divisions, it should make for some real exciting racing, especially the first part of the season until they get a little bit used to the new cars that they're driving.
New this season will be an additional night of racing on the high banks of Elko.
The new Friday night program, which will feature the super trucks, figure eights, American short trackers, and the Legends cars, will start Friday night, May 30th. People are getting pretty excited about it. I was amazed at the interest in the trucks, especially now that NASCAR has granted premier status to the truck division, and they're going to be running for the same kind of regional points and national points that the late models are.
So, Bob, have you been busy lately?
The fan response, the phone has been ringing off the hook. We finally got our schedule all put together with all most of the sponsor names on it, and we sent out to our mailing list this week. The fans have been calling like crazy. They want to get going. I think they've had enough of this cold, snowy winter, and they want to go see some good racing.
Yes, I'm sick of this winter too, Bob. Now, let's find out more about the brand new NASCAR Super Truck Series.
The most exciting news at Elko Speedway seems to be the introduction of the new Midwest Super Truck Series. Beginning at the end of May, the trucks will be in action every Friday night at Elko Speedway. The Truck Series was an idea developed by current late model driver Les Ferris.
When I was down in Florida, I seen him at a trade show, and we thought it'd be a good idea and went back home here and talked to Fredrickson and went back down to Nashville and looked at them, and they didn't appear that they were built too good, so we came back home and went to figures and put her together.
The class is quite affordable for anybody to get into, whether you are just getting into racing, making the switch to asphalt this year, or looking for something a little bit different. Trucks may be for you.
I'd say they're in between the sportsman and the late model. Figure-wise, we sell it in 3 different packages. You can buy just the frame with the roll cage in it, and they can go to the junk yards or the scrap yards and get their suspension and put on it, or they can buy it from us. If they buy just the frame and from us, it runs about $19.95. If they buy the frame painted with the tin, it's like $25.95.
The series has a $15,000 point fund this season, which makes it very appealing.
This is going to be the biggest point fund, I believe, in our local area of any time. And I think it's going to help the total package of racing in our area, because it's not just going to help just the trucks. The late models, the other classes will see what we've done, and hopefully that we can do the same in the other classes. It's kind of a goal that I'd like to see help out with the racers, because when they run a car or truck or any kind of race vehicle, it takes a lot of dollars, and most of the people can't break even, and it stops them. And with this class, we thought we'd bring it out, and the suspension's basically the same as a late model. The new guys can learn about that, how the suspension works, and then if they want to move up, they can move up, and they're right there. So it's pretty exciting, I think.
And if you're ready to go, you can have a truck before the season opens in May. Right
now, the frames, it takes approximately 14 days. Once they decide to make an order, we'll call up the figures, and they build the frame and put it together in about 14 days. And I would say about 1 week you could have it race ready if you had the motor and everything, you know, at the engine shops being built. It takes about a week to put them together. Everybody's got time to do it yet, and we're going to have a good show. We got approximately 11 trucks sold to date. We got 3 to 4 more guys that are showing some interest. We got a couple of ladies even that are showing interest in the trucks.
So interest is high, and it looks like it's going to be a great addition to the action out at Elko Speedway here in 1997. If you're interested in getting involved with the Truck Series, here's the phone number that you'll need to call. It sounds like a lot of fun, and some great competition is ahead. Stay close. There's still plenty more ahead on the Race Report. Welcome back to the Race Report. Well, the big news at Elko Speedway, the new race night. Friday nights beginning at the end of May. Part of that show is going to be the Legends cars. The Legends is a 5/8 scale replica racer of the old modified coupes and sedans that raced on area tracks in the 60s. They are powered by Yamaha motorcycle engines. There are currently over 2,000 of the cars competing at tracks across the country, including Minneapolis police officer Tim Hedberg.
My driving ability on the racetrack does carry over to the driving ability in the squad car. I'm always looking forward to chases because I know I have more of an advantage than the bad guys. I know I can go up and bump them and not worry about spinning out myself.
The Farmington native is eager to get the season underway.
Elko's a great track. I like racing there. It's a fast track. It's a nice facility. It's close to home. I don't have to do a lot of traveling. And the track is, it's a wide track. We can be real competitive on that track with the Legend cars.
The Legends cars will not make their season debut at Elko Speedway until Memorial Day weekend. For Hedberg, that may be a long time. But for someone who wants to give racing a try, that may be the perfect timeline. The Legends car is a great class to get started in racing.
Continuing with our participatory theme, if getting involved in the track is too much for you, you might consider the Friends United in NASCAR Auxiliary. This club was formed 2 years ago and has a big schedule of activities for the coming season.
We're working on quite a few different things. We have a riverboat cruise coming up, which was a really big hit last year. Everyone really enjoyed themselves there. We have some children's autograph books that we're working on. We also are bringing back the Fan of the Year, which is something that I think people really appreciated, honoring someone who's a really good race fan.
The autograph books will be available at the track for only $1, and all proceeds will be donated to charitable organizations. Friends United in NASCAR is very family-oriented and is drawing interest in membership.
It was just a way for me to get more involved because I am not a driver's wife. This was a way for me to get to meet people, be involved with the auto racing because I do enjoy it, and also to get my children out there. We do a lot of fun things with the kids, Halloween party, Christmas party, and it's really fun for them. Then when they go out, they can see kids that they recognize, and it makes it a fun family event.
Friends United in NASCAR, a fun way to get involved at the track.
The NASCAR late model drivers have an opportunity to get together 7 times a year and test their wares against some of the other best short track drivers in the Midwest. Drivers from La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, Rockford Speedway, Hawkeye Down Speedway, Raceway Park up in Shakopee, and Elko Speedway get together for a great array of racing action. 2 of the races will be held at Elko this year. The annual Valvoline 100 is set for Thursday, July 3rd. That race has always been one of the best on the series circuit. Last year, Mike Tuma left the field in his dust as he lapped all but 4 cars. And of course, the year before that, it's simply known as the Crash, one of the wildest finishes ever. And then, of course, Elko Speedway will round out the year with the Fall Festival of Speed and the Apple Valley Ford NASCAR 250, 250 laps of action, infield pit stops. Just part of the 1997 Gold Star Series.
Surge! The surge is on for the 1997 season opener at Elko Speedway next year. And folks, Surge Pop will be on hand. And check this out. They're going to have a chugging contest. It'll be the high-octane racing on the track, cheered on by high-octane fans following Elko's best chuggers. Saturday, April 19th, the NASCAR Winston Racing Series continues with action in all 4 divisions of racing. Bill's Winston Cup look-alike late models, the Sportsman cars, the Thunder cars, and Elko's famous Bombers. Also, the first installment of the always popular Spectator Drags will be held. Friday night racing will begin May 30th. No increase in ticket prices this year, still the same low prices of $10 for adults, $4 for kids. Don't forget, folks, it is April, so bring an extra layer of clothing when you come to the track. Don't go far. The Inside Scoop is coming up next. We've got a brand new addition to our show this year, folks. It's called the Inside Scoop. Ted, what's the scoop?
You want all the poop? I got it all right here with the Inside Scoop. Let's take a look at the NASCAR Winston Racing Series. The alignment with the regions is changing this year. Thanks to R.J. Reynolds, the series point fund has increased to over $1 million. Late Model and Super Truck Series drivers will have an opportunity to cash in on the point fund. Elko Speedway will move to NASCAR's Midwest region this year, with the top dog taking home $17,500. Look at the bonuses up for grabs in the region this year. No wonder everyone wants to race with NASCAR. There's money to be made.
Yes!
Speaking of NASCAR, it was great to see a Midwest legend, Dick Trickle, take home his first career NASCAR Busch Grand National victory last Saturday in the Galaxy Foods 500 in North Carolina. Trickle has won at every level and still holds the Elko track record for the Artco Series. The Elko Speedway Test and Tune is set for this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's free to the public and is a great opportunity to catch an early season glimpse of the new paint jobs and new competitors. If racing's what you're looking for this weekend, head down to Rockford Speedway in Rockford, Illinois for the Spring Classic. Artco cars, Mid-American stock cars, and the Legends cars Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Quarter Mile Speed Plant down in Rockford, Illinois. And if you get down there, Rockford's celebrating 50 years. 50th anniversary for Rockford Speedway this year. Happy anniversary from all of us here at the Race Report. And now you have the inside scoop. Well, Walt.
Yes?
You ready?
I have been waiting for this moment for a long, long time.
Well, like we said at the beginning of the show, it's been a long, cold, snowy winter. We got a break. We got to get out of town a couple of times. You went to Mexico. I got an opportunity to go down to Daytona. And about mid-February is when I really started getting itching for the racing season.
Yeah, I've been pretty pumped up for this because, you know, the one thing racing season always brings is warm weather.
That's right.
And everybody in this state wants it right now. I can't wait for Test and Tune this Saturday. We're going to be down there taking a look at things and then getting ready for another show for the following week. We've got a lot of things that we're going to preview. This Saturday when we get down to Elko Speedway, we're going to talk about some of the new people coming in and, of course, make our fearless predictions.
I've been working on it for the last month, making phone calls. This year, my drivers are not going to be hit with that omen of me picking them. I'm going to pick the winners this year.
Okay, we'll see when the season ends in September.
We'll see you next week right here on MSC for more of the Valvoline Elko Race Report.
If you're looking for in-depth coverage of sports of all sorts, turn to the Minnesota Sports Page. The paper is a year-round weekly publication available at over 300 metro locations. Pick one up today or visit the Minnesota Sports Page website at www.mnsportspage.com.